If you are over 60 years old, I need to warn you, the very vegetables you've trusted your whole life could now be weakening your legs. I know that sounds hard to believe. For decades, we've been told that vegetables are always good. But after 30 years treating seniors with joint pain, muscle loss, and numbness in their legs, I've learned this. Not all vegetables are created equal. Some, especially when eaten daily, can disrupt nerve signals, block calcium absorption, and quietly drain the strength from your lower body. One of my patients, a 75-year-old retired school teacher, came to me devastated. She said, "Doc, I can't walk to my garden anymore." She'd been eating healthy salads every day. But once we identified the hidden triggers, her legs began to feel lighter, steadier, stronger. That's why I made this video. You deserve to know the truth and take back control of your body. In this video, I'll reveal the 7 worst vegetables that may be secretly harming your mobility. If you haven't subscribed to the Senior Strength channel yet, I recommend hitting that subscribe button and turning on the notification bell so you never miss any health tips made just for you. If you enjoy this video, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can create better content for you. Number 1. Potatoes. The inflammation bomb you didn't see coming. Let me start by saying this clearly. Potatoes are not evil, but if you're over 60 and you're eating them the way most Americans do, fried, mashed with cream, or as salty chips, you might be feeding the inflammation that's making it harder to move. I had a patient, Mr. Harold, 78 years old, retired postman. He came to me with swollen ankles, sore calves, and nighttime leg cramps that were waking him up almost every night. He said, "Doc, I don't get it. I've cut down on sweets. I'm walking every day. Why are my legs still giving out on me?" We looked at his diet. Every evening, Harold had mashed potatoes, creamy, buttery, comforting. But beneath that comfort was something dangerous: glycoalkaloids. These naturally occurring toxins in potatoes, especially green or sprouted ones, can disrupt nerve function, leading to numbness, tingling, and over time, a quiet loss of muscle strength in the legs. Harvard Health published findings on how glycoalkaloids can act like neurotoxins when consumed in high amounts over time. And the Mayo Clinic warns that for seniors, compromised circulation and weakened nerves make them especially vulnerable to these compounds. But that's just the first strike. Potatoes, especially in processed forms like fries and chips, cause sharp blood sugar spikes. Your body responds with an insulin surge which over time promotes inflammation. Inflammation weakens blood vessels. When that happens, your legs don't get the oxygen they need. You might feel tired after a short walk. You may find yourself sitting more than you'd like. That's not laziness, that's your cells being underfueled. And then comes the trans fats and sodium, common in packaged potato products. Trans fats clog arteries and worsen circulation, while high sodium causes your body to retain water. That's what leads to heavy, swollen legs, especially at night. If you've ever looked down at your feet and felt like they just don't belong to you, you're not imagining things. I remember another patient, Mrs. Elaine, 74. She loved her salty potato chips while watching the news. But she noticed that climbing stairs had become exhausting. Her knees felt stiff, and her calves burned halfway through a walk. We swapped her snacks with baked carrot sticks and added magnesium-rich foods to help ease inflammation. 2 weeks later, she told me, "Doctor, I made it up to my bedroom without stopping." Quick question for you. Have you ever felt your legs give out after sitting for a while? That unsteadiness might not be just getting older. It could be your body reacting to years of quiet damage from something as innocent as potatoes. Here's what I recommend. If you love potatoes, switch to sweet potatoes. They're lower in glycoalkaloids and have a lower glycemic index, which means less blood sugar drama. Bake them, roast them with olive oil, add a sprinkle of cinnamon. Your legs will thank you. And don't forget hydration. Potassium helps balance sodium in the body. so pair your meals with leafy greens and water-rich veggies. Quick recap. Potatoes, especially processed or fried, can interfere with your nerves, spike inflammation, and weaken circulation to the legs. Swap them out, and you may feel lighter, stronger, and more in control of your steps. But if potatoes are the inflammation bomb, just wait until you see what eggplant is doing to your nerves. It may be hiding in your favorite dishes and quietly draining your balance, one meal at a time. Number 2. Eggplant. How a favorite comfort food can disrupt your balance. Let's talk about a vegetable that many seniors love in casseroles, roasted dishes, or even grilled sandwiches. Eggplant. It looks harmless, soft, mild, comforting. But for your nervous system and balance, it can be a silent wrecking ball. I'll never forget a woman named Mrs. Louise, 71 years old, widowed, used to cook eggplant parmesan twice a week. She came to me complaining of a strange heaviness in her legs. "Doc, I feel like I'm dragging bricks. My feet don't listen to me anymore." At first, she thought it was arthritis, but her x-rays were clean. What she didn't know was that eggplant contains solanine, a natural toxin in the nightshade family. Solanine has been shown to interfere with acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter that controls muscle movement. When solanine builds up, it can block the signals from your brain to your muscles. That's when you feel your steps becoming less stable, or like your legs are reacting a second too late. According to a study published in the Journal of Neurology Research, elevated solanine levels have been linked to neuromuscular dysfunction, especially in older adults whose livers clear toxins more slowly. And that's not the only danger. Eggplant also reduces calcium absorption. Now, you may already be struggling to get enough calcium if you've cut back on dairy. When eggplant blocks even more of it, your muscles lose the fuel they need to contract properly. That leads to cramping, fatigue, and yes, an increased risk of falling. Have you ever stood up and felt a delay, like your legs took an extra beat to respond, or a strange tightness in your thighs that wasn't there before? That's the kind of thing I hear all the time in my clinic, from seniors who eat eggplant regularly, thinking it's a healthy meat substitute. Now let's be clear. If you're young, active, and have no issues with balance, eggplant might be fine in moderation. But if you're over 60 and struggling with leg strength, it may be time to press pause. Let me share another story. Mr. Bennett, 76, used to love grilling eggplant slices on the weekend. He was proud of eating clean. But over time, he started feeling like his knees would lock mid-step. We cut back his nightshade intake and added more calcium-rich, non-inflammatory foods. After 3 weeks, he said, "Doc, I didn't grab the handrail this morning, I just walked." Now let me ask you, have you ever experienced unexplained tingling in your legs? That crawling, electric feeling? It might not be poor circulation. It might be your nerves misfiring from the foods you eat. Here's my advice. If you love dishes that call for eggplant, try zucchini instead. It's gentle on the nerves, easier on calcium absorption, and doesn't carry the same toxic load. Plus, it's easier to digest and less likely to trigger joint pain. You don't have to give up your favorite meals, you just have to adjust the ingredients to fit the needs of your changing body. Quick recap. Eggplant contains solanine, which interferes with nerve signals and calcium absorption. Over time, this can lead to muscle weakness, slower reaction times, and poor leg stability. Swap it for zucchini or squash, and give your legs a better foundation to stand on. Now, if eggplant can block your brain's signal to your legs, wait until you hear what spinach is doing to your calcium, and why it might be stealing your strength from the inside out. So far, we've uncovered 2 surprising culprits: potatoes, with their nerve-disrupting glycoalkaloids and inflammation-triggering fats, and eggplant, with its solanine content quietly breaking the signal chain between your brain and your legs. These aren't wild theories. They're patterns I've seen over and over in my clinic. The good news? Each one can be replaced with safer, nourishing alternatives. But we're not done yet. The next vegetable may shock you, because it's the poster child of health. Let's talk about spinach. Number 3, spinach. When healthy, turns harmful for your legs. Spinach has a good reputation. Rich in iron, full of vitamins, a symbol of strength. But for many seniors, spinach could be quietly robbing them of exactly what it promises: leg power. Let me introduce you to Mr. Gordon. He's 80, sharp, active, walks his dog twice a day. He told me proudly, "Doc, I eat a spinach salad every single lunch. That's what keeps me going." But lately, he started feeling tightness in his calves, like a deep internal cramp he couldn't stretch out. His feet began to swell by afternoon, and walking upstairs felt like hiking a mountain. We ran labs, checked circulation, heart, blood sugar, everything normal. So I asked him one question: "Do you eat spinach raw or cooked?" He said, "Raw, organic." That's when I knew what was going on. Spinach is extremely high in oxalates, compounds that bind to calcium and block its absorption. The calcium your muscles need? It gets flushed out, unused. Over time, this causes subtle but progressive muscle fatigue. You're not just tired, your legs are missing essential fuel to contract properly. According to Mayo Clinic, oxalates are a leading dietary cause of kidney stones, but lesser known is how they can also impair nerve conduction. This means more tingling, cramping, even a creeping numbness that worsens when you least expect it, like during a morning walk or standing up from the couch. And it doesn't stop there. Oxalates can contribute to kidney dysfunction, which impacts your legs in sneaky ways. The kidneys help regulate fluid and electrolytes. When they don't function optimally, your legs swell. You might feel puffiness around your ankles, or a strange, tight sock feeling, even without wearing any. That's fluid buildup caused by spinach's interference with your mineral balance. One patient, Mrs. Evelyn, 77, used spinach daily in smoothies. She was doing everything right, but complained her legs felt stiff and wooden by mid-morning. When we paused the spinach and added cooked kale and parsley instead, her symptoms faded. "I didn't know something so healthy could hurt me," she said. Let me ask you, have you ever felt an unexplained ache in your legs? That deep, lingering soreness that doesn't match your activity level? Before blaming age, ask yourself, could it be oxalates? Here's the fix. You don't have to ditch greens, just rotate them. Switch spinach for lower oxalate options like bok choy, arugula, or cooked kale. And most importantly, cook your spinach if you eat it. Boiling reduces oxalate levels dramatically, making it much safer for seniors. Also, pair greens with calcium-rich foods like almonds or sardines. It helps balance oxalate effects and gives your muscles the fuel they need. Quick recap. Spinach is packed with oxalates that bind calcium, weaken nerves, and may cause swelling, cramping, and muscle fatigue. Cook it, rotate it, or swap it out. Your legs will thank you with every steady, pain-free step. But we're just getting started, because the next vegetable is so common, so beloved. Yet it's been linked to joint pain, stiffness, and a surprising rise in nighttime leg discomfort. Yes, we're talking about tomatoes. Stay with me. Number 4, tomatoes. The beloved fruit that may be fueling your joint pain and leg weakness. Tomatoes are everywhere. In soups, salads, sandwiches, pasta sauce. And for most people, they seem harmless, even beneficial. But what if this sweet, tangy fruit is secretly stirring up trouble in your legs? Let me introduce Mrs. Clarice. She's 74 and swears by her Mediterranean diet. She adds tomatoes to every dish, raw, roasted, pureed. But lately her knees have been stiff every morning and her ankles feel swollen by noon. "It's just old age," she said. But when we adjusted her diet, something changed. Fast. You see, tomatoes belong to the nightshade family, Just like eggplant and peppers, they contain solanine, a compound known to increase inflammation and disrupt nerve signaling. According to the American Academy of Rheumatology, solanine can aggravate symptoms in people with osteoarthritis, especially in the knees and hips. If you're someone who wakes up with stiff joints or needs a few steps to get going in the morning, tomatoes might be making things worse. Solanine interferes with enzymes that help muscles and nerves communicate. When disrupted, your legs can feel heavy, delayed, or simply weak. Add that to the fact that tomatoes contain natural histamines, which may increase fluid retention in sensitive individuals, and you've got a recipe for daily leg discomfort. Another patient, Mr. Tran, 69, loved his tomato soup every evening, but every night he'd wake up with throbbing legs and swollen ankles. When we paused the tomato intake, the swelling subsided, and for the first time in months, he slept through the night. You might think, but tomatoes have lycopene and antioxidants. Aren't those good for me? And yes, they are. But it's about balance. If your legs are constantly swollen, achy, or stiff, it may not be your age. It could be your tomatoes. Have you noticed yourself massaging your calves more often? Or avoiding stairs because of aching hips? Before you accept that as normal, look at your plate. Here's what I recommend. Reduce raw tomato intake. If you love tomatoes, try cooked or peeled versions. These contain lower solanine levels. And swap in red bell peppers or zucchini for pasta sauces or salads. They deliver similar nutrients without the inflammatory side effects. Also, if you're dealing with restless legs at night, try keeping a food journal. Note when you eat tomatoes and how your legs feel hours later. The patterns may surprise you. Quick recap. Tomatoes contain solanine, a compound linked to joint pain and muscle weakness. For seniors, especially those with arthritis or fluid retention, tomatoes may cause more harm than good. Moderation, cooking methods, and smart swaps can protect your legs from unnecessary inflammation. Now, if tomatoes can throb through your joints from the inside, wait until you hear how peppers, those colorful little crunchers, might be overexciting your nerves and stealing your sleep. Let's keep going. Number 5. Peppers. The hidden danger in that crunchy bite. Peppers look innocent enough, don't they? Bell peppers, jalapenos, chili flakes. They add flavor, color, and excitement. But behind that crunch, there may be a serious risk for seniors struggling with nerve pain, joint stiffness, or sleep issues. Let me tell you about Ms. Linda. She's 72, a vibrant gardener who loves spicy foods. "It gives life to my meals," she'd say. But she started experiencing odd sensations, burning legs at night, tingling that wouldn't go away. Her feet would twitch uncontrollably. At first, she thought it was circulation, but when we examined her diet, the peppers stood out. The key culprit? Capsaicin, the compound that makes peppers hot. In small doses, it has health benefits. But for seniors, overexposure can overstimulate the nerves, especially in the legs. According to Harvard Health Publishing, capsaicin can desensitize pain receptors, but in some people, it also irritates nerve endings, leading to restless leg syndrome, twitching, and chronic discomfort. Now think about this. Have your legs ever felt like they couldn't stop moving at night? That itch you can't scratch deep in the muscles? That's not just aging. That could be your body reacting to something you're eating. But capsaicin isn't the only issue. Peppers, like tomatoes and eggplant, are nightshades, and they contain solanine, that inflammatory compound we discussed earlier. For seniors with arthritis or joint pain, solanine can be a trigger, making morning stiffness last longer and every movement more painful. It acts like a slow poison to joint health when consumed frequently. Mr. Howard, 76, didn't believe me when I told him peppers might be making his arthritis worse. "They're vegetables, Doc," he said, but he cut them out for 3 weeks. Then he came back, eyes wide. I stood up this morning without holding the counter, First time in months. The evidence isn't always dramatic, but it's real. For some, peppers may increase inflammation, fatigue, and cause nerve misfiring, a condition where leg muscles twitch or burn at rest, disrupting sleep and recovery. And without deep, healing sleep, your legs don't get the repair they need. Over time, this leads to muscle fatigue, poor balance, and greater risk of falls. So here's a question for you. Have you been waking up more tired? Legs aching like you ran a marathon in your sleep? Could it be the peppers in your salad, omelet, or stir-fry? Here's what to do. Don't eliminate all peppers unless you suspect a strong sensitivity. But if you notice leg twitching, nighttime restlessness, or worsening arthritis, try a 2-week pepper pause. Replace them with zucchini, carrots, or celery for crunch without the inflammatory punch. If symptoms improve, you've found a piece of your puzzle. Quick recap. Peppers contain capsaicin and solanine, which can overstimulate nerves, worsen arthritis, and trigger restless legs. In seniors, that leads to poor sleep, nerve fatigue, and weak muscles. Take a break, observe your symptoms, and choose alternatives that support, not sabotage, your strength. But peppers aren't the only leafy green causing trouble. The next one is often praised as a super green and ends up in smoothies, stir-fries, and health bowls. But it's loaded with one compound that may slowly eat away at your muscle power. And the worst part? You've probably been told it's great for you. Let's talk about beet greens. Number 6, beet greens, the superfood that quietly steals your strength. Let's talk about beet greens. They've been labeled a superfood for years, rich in vitamins A and K, magnesium, and iron. But for seniors, especially those dealing with joint pain or muscle fatigue, beet greens could be doing the exact opposite of what you expect. Not strengthening your legs, but slowly draining them. I remember Mr. James, a 70-year-old former postman who drank green smoothies daily, spinach, kale, and beet greens. "Doctor, I'm eating healthy. Why do my calves feel like they're tightening all day long?" he asked. He'd get sudden cramps, even at rest, and every step felt like his legs were wrapped in concrete. The issue? Oxalates, a compound found in high amounts in beet greens. According to the Mayo Clinic, oxalates bind to calcium, blocking its absorption. Over time, this leads to calcium deficiency in muscles, resulting in weakness, painful spasms, and fatigue. For seniors, the loss of just a little muscle strength can turn daily activities, like getting up from a chair or walking uphill, into exhausting challenges. Have you ever stood up and felt your legs hesitate? Or needed to massage your calves because they felt too stiff to stretch? These are warning signs. Oxalates don't just stop at muscles. They also contribute to kidney stone formation, which is more common in people over 60. And impaired kidney function can cause fluid retention, nerve discomfort, and a buildup of toxins, all of which affect your legs. You may notice your ankles puffing up or that your legs feel full no matter how much you rest. That's not just water, it's poor circulation and nutrient blockage caused in part by what you eat. Beet greens also contain compounds that reduce calcium in your bloodstream, making it even harder for your muscles to function properly. When your leg muscles lack calcium, their contractions become inefficient and unstable. The result? Slower reaction times, poor balance, and an increased risk of falls. For people with arthritis or joint pain, beet greens can quietly worsen inflammation. Oxalates irritate joints, making mornings harder and walking more painful. One of my patients once said, "I feel like my legs wake up 20 minutes after I do." That's exactly how silent inflammation works. It delays and weakens everything. Now, I'm not saying beet greens are poisonous, but if your legs feel unusually stiff, your balance is off, or your energy seems to vanish after walking just a few blocks, it may be worth taking a break. Here's what you can do. Replace beet greens with low oxalate greens like arugula, romaine, or mustard greens. They're easier on your kidneys, joints, and muscles. And if you're prone to cramps, consider adding a calcium-magnesium supplement, with your doctor's approval, to restore balance. Quick recap. Beet greens are packed with oxalates which bind to calcium and block its absorption, leading to cramps, fatigue, kidney stress, and weak muscles. Seniors with joint pain or leg stiffness should consider lighter greens and track how their legs feel after every meal. And if you think beet greens are bad, the next one might surprise you the most. It's the comfort food of coleslaws, stews, and grandma's kitchen. But hidden inside is a compound that may disrupt your thyroid, slowing your metabolism and draining your leg strength one sluggish step at a time. Let's talk about cabbage. Number 7, cabbage, the silent saboteur of your thyroid and your legs. Cabbage has always seemed like a safe choice. From coleslaw to sauerkraut, from grandma's stew to steamed sides. It's everywhere. Affordable, crunchy, filling. But what if I told you that this common vegetable could be quietly draining your energy, weakening your legs, and even interfering with your thyroid? That's what happened to Ms. Eleanor, a 68-year-old woman who came into my clinic complaining of constant leg heaviness and sluggish energy. "Doctor, it feels like my legs are stuck in mud. Even walking from my kitchen to the porch feels like a chore," she said. I asked about her diet. She smiled proudly. "I eat cabbage every day. It keeps me regular." That's when I explained what many don't know. Cabbage contains goitrogens, compounds that can interfere with iodine absorption, which is crucial for a healthy thyroid. According to the American Thyroid Association, when your thyroid underperforms, it can slow down your metabolism and reduce muscle function, especially in your lower body. The result? Your legs feel tired, heavy, and slow to respond. Have you ever struggled to walk upstairs or felt like your legs couldn't keep up with your body? That's not always aging. It could be your thyroid crying out for help. Cabbage also contributes to bloating and water retention. Its high fiber content, when not cooked properly or eaten in large quantities, can cause digestive distress. The bloating puts pressure on abdominal blood flow, which can reduce circulation to the legs. And poor circulation means your muscles don't get enough oxygen, leading to cramping, fatigue, and in some cases, numbness. I had another patient, Mr. Thomas, who noticed his ankles swelling by mid-afternoon. We found that cabbage soup was his go-to lunch every day. Once he switched to gentler vegetables, the swelling began to fade. And let's not forget the effect on your nerves. Some compounds in cabbage may disrupt nerve signaling, especially in seniors with pre-existing neuropathy or diabetes. That tingling in your feet, that creeping numbness, don't dismiss it. What you eat is part of the equation. Here's the good news. Cabbage isn't inherently bad. But too much, too often, especially raw or in fermented forms, can become a hidden trigger for leg weakness in older adults. Here's what I recommend. If you enjoy cabbage, cook it thoroughly, steamed or lightly sautéed, since heat reduces goitrogens. And if you've been eating cabbage daily and feeling more fatigued, try taking a 2-week break. Replace it with bok choy, zucchini, or kale, which are milder on the thyroid and still give you fiber and flavor. Quick recap. Cabbage contains goitrogens that can slow thyroid function, leading to fatigue, poor muscle control, and leg heaviness. It can also cause bloating, circulation problems, and disrupt nerve signals. Seniors should monitor how they feel after meals and adjust accordingly. Now that we've gone through all 7 vegetables, you may be wondering, what should I eat then? Well, in the next section, we'll reveal the best leg-supporting foods for seniors, ones that build strength, restore circulation, and protect your nerves. But first, ask yourself, could cabbage be the comfort food that's quietly stealing your independence? If you are over 60 years old, I want to ask you something from the heart. Is it too late to change? I've had hundreds of patients sit in front of me, eyes full of regret, whispering, "I wish I had known this earlier." But you know what I always tell them? You didn't come too late. You came just in time. It's never too late to listen to your body. Never too late to trade pain for strength. Never too late to stand tall again. Today, we uncovered 7 vegetables that may be secretly weakening your legs, damaging your nerves, disrupting circulation, and making each step feel heavier. But awareness is power. Every small choice you make from here, every food you remove, every bite you rethink, can help you reclaim control over your legs, your energy, your independence. You are not powerless, and you're certainly not alone. If you've made it to this point in the video, you already have what it takes: courage, curiosity, and care for your own body. That's more powerful than any prescription I've ever written. Now I want to hear from you. What is one thing you've learned today that you'll apply in your meals this week? Leave it in the comments below. Your story may inspire someone else who's struggling. And if you're ready to go deeper, to uncover the 5 hidden foods that are destroying your leg strength even faster than vegetables, then I invite you to watch the next video. 5 foods that are destroying your leg strength. Stop eating them. Trust me, this one is eye-opening, because you're not too old. It's not too late. And your legs, they still have strength left in them. Let's protect it, together.